If I were to tell you that you could have as many and whatever Pokemon you wanted in Pokemon Go, but everybody could do the same, what would you do? With that power, you could have 1,000 100% IV Galarian Zapdoses in your account. But would you really care? Probably not. Rarity is defined as a thing found not in large numbers and consequently of interest or value. The whole point of something being rare is that it's limited. And Pokemon Go has capitalized on this for almost a decade. Here, let's go back to the start. You see, in 2016, Pokemon Go released their first ever rare Pokemon, Dragonite. A Pokemon everybody wanted, but few had. To be honest, it was an insane time. Like, if you yelled the word, Dragonite! People would come running. However, nowadays, seems like everybody has a Dragonite, and I even found myself transferring some to make some storage. And that's just the nature of it. Things get less and less rare over time, the more they become available. But what was the case isn't always the case nowadays. You see, recently some Pokemon that have been coming to Pokemon Go have got me thinking about something I like to call rising rarity. I know, it's not the greatest name, it's just what I could come up with. You see, rare Pokemon nowadays are not the same as they once were. Back in the day, if you wanted a Dragonite, you could probably find one after 1 or 2 weeks of hunting. Nowadays, if you want something like a Galarian bird, you could go 6 months without not even seeing one. So there's definitely a rising rarity going on. Let me give you guys some examples. Galarian birds. In June of 2022, Galarian Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno were all released into Pokemon Go. To encounter one, you would have to use the Daily Adventure incense, which would force you to move to get more spawns, and you'd pretty much just have to cross your fingers because they were just like absurdly rare. I think they have about a 1% chance of actually appearing. However, you could only do one of these Daily Adventure instances for 15 minutes every single day. This meant the odds of finding a Galarian Zapdos were like below 1%. And on top of that, their catch rates are literally the highest in the game. They have like an under 0.5% catch rate. I don't know, there's a graphic showing you the catch rates, but it's just like insane. Now, yes, we do have Master Balls and such that were recently added, so it does make it a little bit easier to catch these. But to be honest, I would say when Galarian birds were first released, probably less than 5% of trainers actually had one in their account for the first 3-4 months. Yeah, they were that rare. Now, you may think it's not a big deal, but I think the real issues come in with this next Pokemon. In July of 2023, the Roots feature was released, which came with the mythical Pokemon Zygarde. To get Zygarde, you would obviously get the 10% form for completely free through a special research, but to upgrade to the 50% form and the complete form, you would have to do these Roots to get these things called cells. You could get a max of 3 cells a day, and to take Zygarde to the 100% form, you need 250. So if you do the math, that's about 84 days minimum to get this Pokemon. But this is where my issue comes in. Unlike the Galarian birds, complete form of Zygarde is broken in PvP. Literally being one of the best Great League Pokemon, one of the best Ultra League Pokemon, one of the best, or probably the best Master League Pokemon, Zygarde in the complete form only is so strong. Meaning if you wanted this busted Pokemon and be able to compete at the top leagues with the other trainers, you would need a pretty rare Pokemon. And this brings me to my last example, Carbink. Now, you may actually already have a Carbink, but doesn't mean you have a Carbink. You see, when Carbink was released this year during Global Go Fest, it was only available at the in-person Go Fest and for 2 days at the Global Go Fest. After that, the only way to get Carbink, 10-kilometer eggs and PvP rewards. But you see, the thing is, Carbink is #1 in the Great League, the best Pokemon. Good in other leagues as well, the Halloween Cup. Overall, probably one of the most busted PvP Pokemon we've seen. But to get it, you would need 296 Carbink XL candies, which for a Pokemon that is super rare to get and has only been released 1 day off Incense, it's not easy. It's obviously not the same example as Zygarde, but it just goes to show, broken Pokemon being super rare, it's a common theme we've been seeing. Overall, I'm not trying to say that rarity is a bad thing. By no means am I saying that. I definitely see both sides. Like, on one hand, if you see someone with a complete form Zygarde, you know they grinded. You know they got 250 cells. You know they worked at least 83 days to get those. And they can be proud of it. The trainer who gets that has something that they can show off and be content and know they worked hard for. But on the other side, it creates an unfair advantage in which some Pokemon, they're just so strong and they're just so hard to get, making new players who come to the game not really motivated to get it. At the end of the day, if you want my opinion, I'm really happy with things like Galarian Birds and other Pokemon that don't really affect the meta but are completely an utter flex. But then with things like Carbink and complete form of Zygarde that drop, I don't know. I feel weird about the accessibility part of it. Nonetheless, I make these videos to ask you guys about it, so let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed these types of videos, let me know as well in the comment section below if you want to see more of my thought videos. But let's get a discussion going down there. I hope you guys all enjoyed. We're going to see you guys in the next one. Fall for this, everybody.